15 ways to make a complete mess of your NEBOSH IG2 or your NG2 risk assessment. Specifically, we're going to talk about part 2 of the risk assessment project. My name is Will Taylor. I'm the managing director of Compassa. I'm an ex-examiner for NEBOSH, and I'm going to focus on part 2 of the NEBOSH NG2 IG2 project and all of the different ways, maybe not all of the ways, there's actually lots of ways you can mess this thing up, but I'm going to give you the top 15 and hopefully that'll be enough. Big silly mistake number 1, it's not a real risk assessment. Let's take a look right here. So it all starts in part 1, really. So before we've even got to part 2, we have to describe in part 1 what we're risk assessing and also our methodology, how the risk assessment was carried out here. And one of the mistakes I've seen, and this is a massive mistake, and thankfully very few people make this mistake, but it is to do a fake risk assessment from memory. And here it says, I used to work in this gym a year ago. A year ago. So it's not an up-to-date risk assessment then, is it? Legally speaking, if you're in the UK, the Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999 stipulates that a risk assessment should be up to date. And so basing it on your memory from a year ago, that's not going to work. I have carried out the risk assessment using photos of the gym I have on my phone and videos from their YouTube channel. I am very familiar with the hazards and control measures. I'm afraid that's not going to work. This did happen to a student of ours, actually, and that person was failed immediately. It's very hard to fail your NG2 from part 1 because part 1 is a non-critical section. But at that point, the examiner just refused to mark the rest of it because it wasn't a suitable and sufficient risk assessment. So, lesson is always visit the workplace, make sure you speak to people, make sure you do a proper risk assessment. Otherwise, you'll fail at the first hurdle.